Ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes and bow-legged ants, admission is free. Y'all pay at the door. Pull up a chair and sit on the floor. It's time once again for the world-famous Hartland Hootenanny. Hi, everybody. I'm Ketch, Secor of Old Crow Medicine Show, welcoming you to the Crow's Nest here at Hartland Studios in East Nashville, Tennessee, for the most exciting hour of live stream entertainment you've ever seen since the transformation of Dog Patch USA to Marble Falls. Our very special guest on the Hartland Hootenanny tonight is a beautiful singer and songwriter who parlayed her early successes in the theme parks of the Ozarks to the stages of Opryland, to the country radio where she sold millions of records, and on to become a pioneering voice and spokeswoman for country music's LGBTQ community. Wright is here! Wow, that's going to be phenomenal. So friends, it's time once again we gather to climb aboard that quarantine Ferris wheel of life as it spins seemingly into oblivion, but at least we're riding it all together. It's Saturday night, and this is the Hartland Hootenanny. Well, howdy folks, and welcome once again to this thrilling edition of the Hartland Hootenanny. Tonight we'll continue our stroll down memory lane as we continue to remember the things that we used to love about summertime before the global pandemic. And one thing I know everybody loves about summer is that trip to the amusement park, that pleasure palace of themed novelty, where log-shaped rafts ride atop chlorine rivers and course through concrete, where oversized foam hands can be won with the accuracy of a dart throw, where bobble-headed strolling mascots are made for teens to taunt and to terrify toddlers. Ah, yes, theme parks. Those quintessential American places where screaming indicates joy, where crying just means the little tykes had too much sugar. Those premier entertainment destinations where all are welcome who can afford the entry fee and where everyone goes home a winner. So let's all climb aboard this Hootenanny thrill ride, remembering to keep your hands inside the cards at all times. And if you feel queasy, remember to throw up away from your date. And what better way to kick off this theme park edition of the Hartland Hootenanny with a retake on a classic fiddle tune that I like to call Six Flags Over Arkansas Traveler. Well, howdy, stranger.
Howdy, stranger.
Say, does this road go to Six Flags Over Arkansas?
Stranger, I've lived here all my life and I never seen this road go nowhere but Missouri.
Well, howdy, stranger.
Howdy, stranger.
Say, how tall do I have to be to ride the Screaming Eagle?
Taller than that.
Well, howdy, stranger.
Howdy, stranger.
Can I exchange these skee-ball tickets in for some sticky grabber hands and a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser?
No, you only have enough tickets to choose from the bottom row.
Stickers. Well, howdy, stranger.
Howdy, stranger.
Do I really have to stand in this long line to ride the big bad wolf?
No, stranger, that's just the line to use the hand sanitizer station.
Well, howdy, stranger.
Howdy, stranger.
I'm beginning to think you're taking me for a fool. Now, which way is the way to Six Flags Over Arkansas?
If you weren't such a fool, you'd be headed straight to Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri.
Well, howdy, stranger, one more time.
Howdy, stranger.
Say, stranger, when will the global pandemic be over so I can get back to my favorite amusement parks?
What global pandemic?
Think about it. Well, what fun to be with you on the Hartland Hootenanny tonight as we celebrate theme parks. And tonight's very special guest, Shelley Wright, got her start in one of the world's most famous ones. More on that later. But first, a poem by the poet laureate of amusements, Walt Waterpark Whitman, who once famously wrote, "Oh, ye idle roller coasters unridden, ye bumper cars unbumped, ye disturbingly large boxes of Dr. Pepper syrup hidden beside carbonated waters still unpumped. This discontent of summer slumped where whack-a-moles go as yet unthumped, and empty teacups only dump out summer theme park plans all but trumped. But thrill rides still within our hearts, and will is still our strongest parts. So let's be creative, it's not that hard to build a theme park, yay, in our own backyard. All right, let's do like the Walt Whitman poem says. Are you ready at home out there? Let's build our own backyard quarantine theme park. Okay, first, let me ask a few questions that can help steer you towards the helter-skelter of success. Firstly, what's the theme of your theme park? Will it be historical, like Ponce de Leon's Adventure City? Will it be culinary, like Cranberry World? Or will it be mystical, like Bible World, or based in legend, like Dodge City's OK Corral Village? Or will it be animal-based, like Gatorland? Simply choose a name that both thrills while repelling. From A to Z, theme park names celebrate the crossroads of cute, of camp, of wonder and of shtick, of dizzy and of about to puke. So, will it be Adventure City, Blackbeard's Cave, Cherokee Fun Park, Dutch Wonderland, Enchanted Forest Indoor Adventure Park, Fantasy Shore, Galaxy Land, Holiday World and Splashing Safari, Indiana Beach, Joyland, Kittyland, Legoland, Marineland, Noah's Ark, OA, Pocono Mountain Go-Karts and Play Park, Quasi Amusement Park, Race City, Sam's Fun City, Trimper's Rides, Uncle Bernie's, Valley Fair, Waterville, USA, Expo Land, York's Wild Kingdom, or Zonkers. Did you pick a name for your summer quarantine backyard theme park? Great! Now, while you're building your park at home, let's celebrate the sounds of summer coast to coast with this roller coaster thrill ride of amusements medley. Mr. Jerry Pentecost, come out and help me do the honors. Hey, Jerry, how you doing, man?
How's it going?
Welcome back to the Hootenanny, pal. All right, while Jerry's rolling in his Duck and Dodge 'em drum set, allow me and Corey Yance to roll out our scale model of the backyard quarantine theme park that we'll be building behind the Heartland Studios here at 711 Hart Lane in heart of East Asheville. So, as you can see, it looks a little like Opryland, except for the big ride is a Hot Wheels themed, and we've also increased it by offering sort of a German culinary theme here. Oh, try this on, that's gonna look really sharp. Oh my God, this just looks great. All of the servers are going to wear bustiers and sprechen and highball durch. All right, let's light them up with our Opryland matches. All right, are you ready? Tickets, please. Ready, riders, for thrills and prizes? Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Hold on a minute. Wait, I think so. Almost. Yeah! Love is in the air at the amusement park this summer. Come on, let's twist again like we did last summer. Come on, let's twist again like we did last year. Do you remember when things were really humming? Come on, let's twist again. Twist and time is here.
If you get carried away, we'll be starting a family.
It's the perfect time for a magic trick, but you'll be no fun without my big magic stick.
Now watch who I'll pull a hat out of your head and
Applause now, that's the first half of my act. I started out like a pimp, now I'm more like a man.
I don't need your paper, just come through with my stack.
Oh, it's like that?
Yes, like that.
Shorty, you don't have to take your face mask off, just move it to the side. If you wanna ride on a roller coaster, baby, come on and ride. Goes up and down and round and round. Stand up and get on the floor. Cause it's on tonight, I know what you like. I know just how to break you off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I found out long ago. Oh, it's a long way down the holiday road. Oh, holiday road. Oh, holiday road. Oh, well, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Take a ride on the West Coast Kid. Holiday road, holiday road, hey, the holiday road, holiday road. All right. Did you get your quarantine backyard self-isolation theme park constructed yet? If you're still trying to figure out what to do with all those old box springs, may I suggest Mattress World or Crisscross's Jump Kingdom. Anyway, we can't wait to see your theme park, so be sure and send us a picture on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Oh, and if you still have a job in what remains of the global pandemic economy, please consider sending us some of your money. See that little web address at the bottom of the screen? That one. It's your turn to help us keep the carousels all greased up here at the Hartland Studios. Well, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's that wonderful time that we love to celebrate when we get our typewriter finally working. Oh, wait for the ding. Bing! Yes, Corey's lassoed in that old-timey piano, and it's time once again for News on Parade. So glad to have you back on the Hootenanny. That's the one and only Mr. Corey Yance. Yes, it's News on Parade time, where the Hartland Hootenanny investigates what's going on in the minds and in the hearts of the old Crow Medicine Joe, America's sweethearts. And it's also that time when we open up the Pan American mailbag and read your correspondence. But first, our top news item. Well, folks, in honor of our special tribute tonight to all those boarded up theme parks where the most dangerous thrill rides are no longer the Zipper or the Anaconda, but rather the roller COVID-19, to you we offer a tribute of sorts and hope it will be a healing balm to all in the amusement park industry. You see, some years ago, longtime Old Crow founding member and king of the six-string Git Joe, Kevin Paul Hayes, brought a song to our attention that surely must be the greatest thrill ride ever recorded. So here it is, now nearly in its entirety, but enough of a taste to want to come back for more. Here are the Old Crows, featuring Kevin Hayes, performing Palisades Park, a song written by Chuck Barris and recorded by Freddie Cannon, a tribute to New Jersey's Palisades Amusement Park, featuring a list of rides and midway attractions including roller coasters, loop-the-loops, merry-go-rounds, a tunnel of love, a Ferris wheel, as well as a shoot-the-chute and a rocket ship. Here it is from 2016's Fresh Grass Live in North Adams, Massachusetts, Old Crow Medicine Show's Palisades Park. how about that? What a thrill to see that great footage of Kev and all the old crows. That was Corey Onson the keys playing that lick from Entrance of the Gladiators. That's the guy. Well, all right, let's open up the Pan American mailbag, and that way hey, what are you looking at? Oh, are you just noticing my new threads? Of course you are, because they're that sharp on your TV screen.
Hey, Ketch.
Yeah.
I know what those theme park revelers are out there thinking. They're wondering if these shirts come in all super XL sizes, guaranteed to fit across even the biggest bumper boats. Well, big folks, you're in luck. Even if you're too wide for the Dollywood turnstiles, we guarantee we'll have a size that fits.
Corey's right, folks. We even have sizes for the little teacups, or for the sexy grandmas smoking in the stroller parking section. Yeah, Meemaw, that means you. Hey, how about another great offer? Are you a Knott's Berry Farm or Cedar Point fan who feels like giving us money and not getting a thrill ride for it? Well, just click the PayPal link at the bottom of this page and help us keep the Gravitron gravity-free here at the Hartland Studios. Okay, it's time to open up the Pan American mailbag and hear from some of the folks who look forward to the Hootenanny all week long. Wow, it's a big haul. Let's see. Kicking it off here. Ooh, no return address for you, buddy. Oodalolly, golly, what a day. Hi, this was the shirt Charlie wore a couple weeks ago. Yay, Roger Miller. Yay for the Hartland Hootenanny. Thanks for the entertaining hour. Oodalolly, golly, what a day. Arkansas, I just love. Here's from the office of the mayor, care of City Hall, Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Oh my God. Yeah, you need the high-pitched Jew's harp for this one. Here's a picture of the joint. The hallowed halls of justice. Let's see, with this wonderful handwriting. Dear Ketch, whereas this world could use a lot less honkin' and a little more tonkin', and whereas we thank you for being a light on Saturday night, now therefore I, Ben Sheaver, as aka the big-haired mayor, along with the rest of the Sugar Shakers, Dave Doodler, Reno the Burrito Bambino, the Buffalo Ballerina, the Ghost Rider, and Frankie Beans, and of course Buns, do hereby proclaim this Saturday to be Hartland Hootenanny Night in Fergus Falls, Minnesota! Thank you, Mayor. What a thrill. Oh my God, and there's more. Get ready for some correspondence coming back your way to all the good folks up there in L'Etoile du Nord. Hey, here's one from Worthington, Ohio, from Ms. Carrie Kissel. Dear Ketch, our whole family really enjoyed the Hartland Hootenanny, obviously. We are looking forward to the opportunity to learning about the artists we didn't know about through your guests. We've had the War and Treaty on repeat. Thanks for also speaking out about injustice and normalizing conversations about inequity, often a tough topic to talk about. And how about that Ohio Players Jam we ripped out on this set? Oh, and look, here's something from the Young Crows up there. Here's a letter. Dear Ketch, Old Crow is one of my favorite bands. My name is Owen. And I'm turning a hard-to-read number. I'm turning into a buffalo, or maybe that's Waterloo. Oh, and here's one from an older. Oh, this is from Sister Elia, who's 9 years old. I love Hartland Hootenanny. My mom is Carrie Kisseland. I very much agree that I will secretly miss the show, too. Will you please keep doing it? That's assuming that things get back to normal, Elia. I sure hope they do. I like that you were using Hartland Hootenanny to help other artists. We love learning about new bands. And look, she drew a t-shirt that we're going to get into mass production right away. Thank you, Elias, for this Old Crow t-shirt design. All right, got time for one more piece of mail. This one's coming straight out of Shelbyville, Tennessee, just down the road. It comes with a record that we're sure going to crank up. This is some new music from This Cover Mentions You. Tennessee Breakdown by Austin Derryberry and Trenton Tater Carruthers. Some brand new music. So y'all go out and find out about Tennessee Breakdown and bring home this record with you right now. Some old-time music to hear as well. Oh, and they got another one called Haint Hollow Hootenanny. Well, y'all keep your letters and your correspondence coming. We're so glad that you're writing. If you want to write the Hartland Hootenanny, it's easy, and with quarantine providing ample time for activities such as letter writing and stamp ordering, envelope licking, and disinfecting. After your mail carrier visits your porch, then please mail your letters to the Hartland Hootenanny in care of Old Crow Medicine Joe's Hartland Studio, 711 Hart Lane, Nashville, Tennessee, 37216. Don't have time to disinfect on your way to the post office? Stay home, folks. Correspond with the Hartland Hootenanny on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All right. We got through that segment with gusto. Thanks for all your great letters. Hey, folks, before we go to our thrilling performance by our very, very special guest star, let's just play a little bit of that song we've had in our heads all week long here at the Hootenanny. It's time to exorcise that wriggling, gummy earworm in our Record of the Week segment, Carnival Corey Yance Edition, right here on the Hootenanny. What you got for us, man?
My favorite piano player of all time, especially New Orleans piano players, James Carroll Booker III. What do you say? Let's have a little gonzo in our lives.
Hey, you know that sound means it's time to go straight to our very next special guest segment on the Hartland Hootenanny. That wonderful bit I'd like to call Brighten Your Quarantine with the radiant hues of tonight's very special guest star. And folks, our guest on the Hootenanny tonight is a wonderful treat to have her, a celebrated country singer and songwriter who first made her name in Nashville at the Opryland theme park before becoming a #1 recording artist and even soaring to new heights as a speaker and as an activist. Please welcome to the Hootenanny, the one and only Shelley Wright.
Hi, Ketch. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm on the show. I'm so excited.
You're lighting up the screen right now and the switchboard, Shelley. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. I want to ask if you guys have Fitbits on during your show.
Oh, to clock our activity and cardiovascular regimen?
Yes.
That's a good idea. Maybe a sponsorship could be in our future.
I think they could underwrite the segment of dancing for sure. I'm so glad to be here. I love the show.
Well, we're so glad you're on it, and I want to get a chance to talk to you because I have so many questions. But first, would you do us the honor of gracing our stage with one of your signature tunes?
I would love to. I had a record out 20 years ago, which is crazy. It was called Single White Female. I want to do a song off of that record called It Was. Can you hear me okay? I guess we guess our way through life. How many times do we really know for sure? I was just hoping for the best. Then I woke up with those loving arms of yours, and what I felt was unmistakable when I fell for you. It was real, it was magic, it was calm, it was savage, it was cool as a breeze, it was warm to the touch, it was never enough, it was always too much, it did all the things love does. And that's how I knew it was. Who thought that I could laugh so loud? Then turn around and cry so many tears. I used to have so many doubts. But one by one, you made them disappear. And what I found was unbelievable. I believe it's true. It was real, it was magic, it was calm, it was savage, it was cool as a breeze, it was warm to the touch, it was never enough, it was always too much. It did all the things love does, and that's how I knew it was. You asked what I felt when you walked through the door. Was it fear? Was it clear? It was all that and more. It was real. It was magic. It was calm. It was savage. It was cool as a breeze. It was warm to the touch. It was never enough. It was always too much. It did all the things love does, and that's how I knew it was. Oh, that's how I knew it was. Ooh, ooh,
It was so beautiful. You're
you.
coming in so crystal clear, and you played that song that I haven't heard in so long. And I mean, I know almost all the words to that song. And one of the things, because I loved that song when it came out, was that must have been your next single after the title track?
Yeah, that was the second single after Single White Female, and it was a nice hit. A lot of people knew it, and I love that you knew it and knew the words, and it's always really fun to do songs from those old records.
Oh, it's so great to hear it again. You know, you get these songs trapped in your head, and then it takes hearing them again to bring them out and to have that kind of cognitive memory. And the thing that I remembered as I was hearing your song for the first time in probably 20 years, that song, is that you made that beautiful rhyme choice with magic, that you didn't say tragic, but instead...
Savage.
Savage! Oh, it's so good.
Ketch, since you're bringing up the composition itself, I want to mention the writers of that song, Gary Burr and Mark Wright. Remember back in the day on CMT when they used to put the producer at the bottom and the songwriters at the bottom? They just put the last names. So on that song it said Burr/Wright. Now Gary Burr and I have written a lot of songs together, including one of my very popular songs called I Already Do. But when that song came out, I didn't write it, but everyone thought that I did because it said Burr/Wright. But that's actually a Mark Wright, Gary Burr composition. I will say that from the minute I heard the demo, in fact, Tony Brown and Buddy Cannon both brought me independently the demo on the same night. And they each said, no, I've got the song. No, I've got the song. I found the song. I found the song. It was the same song. And so I was lucky to be able to record some really awesome outside songs.
Well, thanks to Gary Burr and to Mark Wright for penning that beautiful tune. And thanks to Shelley Wright for singing it and making it all her own and sharing it with the world. Shelley, I hope you don't mind if we're going to dip into a little quarantine Q&A. I've got a few questions prepared, and as always, our viewers at home are welcome to submit their questions and comments. Now, you're coming to us live from L.A., right?
No, I live in New York City.
Oh, you're coming from New York? Okay, so
Yeah.
I want to know what your quarantine experience has been like up there in the Big Apple. What are you doing, and what's keeping you sane?
Yeah, so right now we're in Vermont, in southern Vermont, but we spent the first few weeks of quarantine in New York City. We live on the Upper East Side, and it was harrowing, Ketch. It was, what you hear on the news, it's true. Like the ambulances rang out all night long, every day. We lost some people that we know and a couple of our neighbors, and so I don't know if any of us are sane right now. And I think that's one of the things maybe that we should be talking about mental health wise, is that this isn't normal, and this thing is deep and wide psychologically for everyone, whether you've got kids or whether you're at home alone and you haven't touched another human being in 3.5 months.
Yeah.
This is hard for everybody. And so I don't know that I would qualify as sane right now, but I am hanging in there, and having identical twin boys who just turned 7 is, that's what keeps me motivated to make sure that their mental health is intact, and that we're having fun every day, and that we're adventurous. And more than anything, I want to teach them right now optimism, activism, and some reality. Like these are hard times, but we got to have fun in these difficult times. But we also have to use our voices, and taking our boys to hold up signs at a Black Lives Matter protest in a small town in Vermont was really emotional and really cool.
Is it Rutland, Brattleboro, Bennington?
Oh, holy smokes! I'm in Manchester.
Oh, you're in Manchester. That's a nice town.
Yeah, you know the area very well.
I spent a little time up around that way. Well, you must have run a quarantine homeschool for those twin 7-year-olds. And are you gearing up for another school year at home with your twins?
Ketch, let me just tell you, I am a songwriter by trade. Being a teacher I feel like I've always appreciated teachers, but I think that all teachers should get a ticker tape parade on Friday afternoon every week. It is an incredibly difficult, it's really an impossible job. Keeping 2 kids on a learning trajectory is really hard. And but we're getting there. We're reading, we're writing, we're doing math. They're excited about counting money, telling time. And they learned how to ride bikes a couple of days ago without training wheels. So we're doing okay.
That sounds just like my quarantine homeschool. We've been bicycling so much. We celebrated Ramadan in May for the first time, and talked about fasting. So you've got 7-year-olds, but it was in your teenage years that you first made it out onto the stage. And I'm just so enamored that you went to these theme parks as a young performer in Branson and also in Opryland. So would you tell us a little bit about what it was like back in the day, playing in these kind of locales?
Well, yeah. So when I was in high school, I had a pretty band. I wouldn't say we were good, but we were busy, and we were called County Line, and we were kind of the it band in the tri-state area back there in Kansas. I'm from a small town in Kansas.
What's the third in the tri-state?
There's Franklin.
No, in the states. You called it a tri-state. Are you referring to Nebraska?
I meant tri-county.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry. But we did have gigs in Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas. So in between my junior and senior year of high school, I got hired as a featured female vocalist at a show in Branson, Missouri called the Ozark Jubilee. Now, the Ozark Jubilee, for those of you, I know you're a history buff, the Ozark Jubilee was a long-running radio show as well as a live show. Stage show, and it's where Red Foley, Brenda Lee, Porter Wagner got their start. And so I was hired by the owners of the theater to be a featured female vocalist there. I learned so much because it was the first time I'd played with this caliber of musicians. And it was 6 days a week, 2 shows on Saturday, the whole deal. So they said after the end of that contract, was just for the summer, they said, go back, graduate high school, then come back and you've got a contract waiting for you. And I was fabulous, signed the contract, couldn't wait to do it, went home, went my senior year of high school. I had lived alone by myself in Branson that summer, and then I moved back in with my folks, and that's hard to do. Can I just point that out? Once you've had freedom to go back into your parents' house, that's tough. So then about 6 weeks before I was to graduate high school, which by the way I did, I just tested out a week early, and my grandfather called me. He said, Shell, he said, there's a theme park in Nashville called Opryland USA. And I said, I didn't know that. He said, they're doing a national audition tour. He said, you should go up to the UMKC, the campus there in Kansas City. You should go up there and do the audition, see if you can get that job. And I said, well, I signed the contract already. I'm going back to Branson. Thanks for letting me know. So we hung up the phone, and I thought to myself, wait a minute. My whole goal is to get to Nashville. Like, I should do this, at least see how I fall in this deeper pool of talent, right? Because I was arguably the best singer in Wellsville, Kansas, but I didn't know how I'd fare on a deeper pool. So I went up to do the audition, and I sang, I did, you ain't woman enough to take my man. Women like you, they're a dime a dozen, you can buy them anywhere. For you to get to him, I have to move over, and I'm gonna stand right here. It'll be over my dead body, so get out
while you can. You ain't woman enough to take my man.
Oh, we got to take this on the road. So I did that song and Blue Moon of Kentucky by Bill Monroe. I got offered the job. So I called the owners of the Branson Theater, told them I had a job offer for Nashville. They said, we're looking at your contract. You signed it. And I got nervous in that moment. They said, we're going to tear it up. Go to Nashville. Make us proud.
Oh,
and I got to Nashville on May 12th, 1989, and started at the Country Music USA show 6 days a week. And I did in 1989, 1990, 1991, and 1992 under Joe Gerrels at Country Music USA.
Well, I know you were delighting a lot of people on that stage, and you've continued to do that even at this time in your career. You have championed the LGBT community in a space of country music, which is a field where gay rights is not always the topic on everybody's agenda. So I want to ask you, Shelley, what's it like to stand up in a space that has historically sought to silence gay singers from speaking out?
Well, as you can imagine, it was a long journey. It was a secret I swore I'd keep. And when I got to Nashville, I mean, I knew when I was 9 that I was gay, but I knew that, because of my religious upbringing, I just knew that I was going to hell. So I just prayed and prayed and prayed, and then, thought that God just was not answering my prayers. And then by my late teenage years, I kind of really understood that I was exactly as God meant for me to be. But I still knew I had to keep that secret if I wanted to, just survive, not just in country music, but this was 1989 when I got to Nashville. People, certainly no one was out in country music, but it's not always tough to be open in any sector, in any community, in any town. So I doubled down on my promise that I would never tell my secret. And I had a 12-year secret relationship through the very highs of my career when I was at my very most popular on major labels. I was in a committed 12-year relationship with a wonderful gal. And of course, we didn't make it. Our love fell apart because, as I often say, nothing grows in closets except for mold. Love does not flourish and do what it needs to do when it's a secret. It's just not healthy. And then I had, I know you're an East Nashvilleian. Me too. My old house there that still stands over there in East Nashville, I found myself in a pretty dark place in the middle of the night in 2006 and nearly ended my life. And the morning after I didn't end my life, I knew I could either not make it or tell my truth and step out. So I began writing my memoir, Like Me. Random House published this 10 years ago, which is crazy that long has gone by. But I knew that I had to not just put on social media, hey, y'all, I'm gay. It was my objective to lead every conversation that I would have, possibly for the rest of my life, whether it be in an interview setting or on an airplane seated next to someone. I knew that it would be incumbent upon me to lead every conversation with, I'm a gay woman. I'm a gay woman of faith. I'm a gay woman who is patriotic and loves her country and loves her neighbors. And I grew up on a farm. I know how to milk a cow. I sing country music. I love Loretta Lynn. I love the Grand Ole Opry. I knew that I didn't just want to say, hey, you guys, I'm gay. I wanted to tell the entire story of who I am. So you asked the question, Ketch, how does it feel? It's the single most meaningful thing that's ever happened in my life, to be able to define myself, own who I am. No one can whisper about me anymore. You know, I hear she's gay. I am gay. I'm proud to be who I am, and it feels incredible.
Oh, I'm so moved to hear you speak on this, Shelley, and I know so many other people have been, who have read your book, who have loved you when they didn't know this about you, and who love you more now. And I'm just so proud to know you now, and to see the bright light that you are in country music. And I'm also excited you have another 10-year anniversary, because your book came out 10 years ago, but also your album Lifted Off the Ground, produced by Rodney Crowell, came out 10 years ago on Vanguard, and for the first time, there it is, it's being released on vinyl for the very first time. And so we wanted to tell all the viewers of the Hootenanny to grab their copy now from ShelleyWright.com, or to check the show notes for the link. Are you going to sing something for us now off of that retrospective new vinyl?
I'd love to. And thank you for saying what you said. I'm really glad to know you, and I know that you bring a lot of conversation and dialogue, important conversation and dialogue to the table in all the work that you do. And thank you for that. And thank you for standing beside the voiceless and people who don't always have a platform. So there's a song on this record that there's a song called Like Me, and it's actually the song that I got the title for my memoir from. This was the last song I played for Rodney. We actually had recorded most of the record, and then I came out to him on my porch over there in East Nashville. We had a good cry, and I said, Rodney, I've got one more song to play for you. And I played it for him, and he said, we're going to go record that this week. So we did, and on this record, it's just Rodney and me on two guitars seated facing one another and one microphone. It's called Like Me. Without your glasses, you just plain can't see your favorite color. For the most part, is green. You're close to your grandma on your mother's side. You can count up on one hand the times you have lied. You won't eat a tomato on a double dog dare. You don't think you're a beauty, but you do like your hair. You're complex and tricky, yet some ways you're not. You're up some, you're down some, you're cold and you're hot. And who's gonna end up holding your hand? A beautiful woman or a tall, handsome man? There's no doubt they'll love you, but it's yet to be seen. Will anyone ever know you like me? You like planting flowers, that's heaven to you. Crack open a beer when your planting is through. You'll paint all your toenails if you have the time, while listening to Willie, Dylan, and Prime. And who's gonna end up holding your hand? A beautiful woman or a tall, handsome man? There's no doubt they'll love you, but it's yet to be seen. Will anyone ever know you like me? You'd rather out, then make love all night. You like if your bath is too hot. Your closet is cluttered with dress pants and Levi's that you wish you'd never bought. And who's gonna end up holding your hand? A beautiful woman or a tall, handsome man? There's no doubt they'll love you, but it's yet to be seen. Will anyone ever know you like me? Will anyone ever know you like me?
It was so beautiful.
Thanks,
that's
Ketch.
a great song, Shelley, and I'm so excited for this 10th anniversary of this album that the wonderful Rodney Crowell made, first time on vinyl. Shelley Wright's got the cure for the global pandemic tonight. Y'all go home and take her album on, and God, it was so great to see you.
Great to see you too. Give everyone back in Nashville my love, and your band is on fire tonight. And I hope I get to come back and do the Hootenanny with you.
Yeah, well, I hope that you're going to look me up when you're in Nashville so we can get together. Maybe
Let's take
write
a
us
bike
a song. And while you're at it, would you give all of our love from down south up to the Green Mountain State?
We'll do, and we'll be back in New York City within the month, so we'll give everybody your love back there.
Thanks. That's the enchanting voice of the one and only Shelley Wright, everybody. Take good care and God bless. Thank you again, Shelley. Good night.
Thanks, you guys. Bye, Ketch.
Oh, well, that's so wonderful. What a fun hour of time that we've spent here together. The summer season sure is in full swing. And as the sun sears across that asphalt strip of roadside Americana, we remember those amusements of youth. Those special summer memories of spinning tilt-a-whirls, games of strength and aim for prizes and novelties. We recall the conies and the ice cream brain freeze as we listen in to the memorial screams of teenagers on roller coasters. The bygone summer nights is the big amusement park on the other end of the state where you drove with your parents in the hopes of partying far away from your parents. Yes, perhaps it's simply amusement itself we're missing most during these global pandemic days. And what better way to amuse a nation deprived of its proper summer revelry than with winning a plush toy with the simple toss of a dart, with a belly full of fried pickles and one of those gigantic lollipops, and with the rides of the Grand Carnival Midway. Tonight's All My Tales Are Tall celebrates one special summer when, like Shelley Wright, the members of the Old Crow Medicine Show gave up the honky-tonks and the nightclubs for the funnel cakes, the orange slushies, and the steady pay of a wild western theme park. Blowing Rock, North Carolina, the year 2000. Yes, I said Blowing Rock. Look it up. Anyway, it's the dawn of a new millennium, and the Old Crows have recently signed on as the newest staff members at Tweetsie Railroad Wild Western Theme Park, an oft-overlooked amusement park in Western Carolina's Blue Ridge Mountains, featuring the area's once famous Tweetsie Line, a narrow-gauged steam train that once served travelers and industry across the iron mines and timberlands of northwesternmost North Carolina and northeasternmost Tennessee. The band had been on the fence about taking the job, but when we learned it paid $200 a week per man, plus free snow cones, there was really no question. We had earned the coveted spot as a band in residence after winning an audition held in the local high school auditorium. The judges comprised of Tammy, our future supervisor, and Steve, a hillbilly thespian who billed himself as the Rainmaker. Together, the decision to hire Old Crow was unanimous. They immediately outfitted us in appropriate attire using Tweetsie's long-standing expense account at the Watsonata Western Wear store on King Street in nearby downtown Boone. For the 5 19-year-olds stepping out onto the street looking straight out of a daguerreotype, the look was decidedly 19th century. Suspenders, bowlers, rustic vests, brogans, and billowing cavalry bib shirts replaced the thrift store look that we were accustomed to. The immediate effect of our band's becoming theme park quality performers was most significantly felt at the Beach Creek Grocerette, the little store we lived by, where the old-timers gathered around the potbelly stove to scratch and spit and gossip about who had done good and who had done wrong and who was dead. For us, the popular local string band who had played all manner of area parties, cakewalks, and nursing homes, as well as twice running at the annual Northwesternmost North Carolina Christmas Tree Growers Association Holiday Bazaar and Banquet in Banner Elk. For Old Crow being already regionally beloved and then being hired at the area's most famous entertainment destination, Tweetsie Railroad, put us, in the estimation of the old men at the Beach Creek Grocerette, somewhere between saints and Almighty God. Bruce Guy, an area tobacco grower and occasional bear hunter, Bar, he pronounced it, stopped me while walking home on the side of the road one afternoon. Heard yuns got hired up to Tweetsie. Hit just don't get no bigger than that. I probably should have seen it coming. This opportunity for fame and fortune and funnel cake was just a few scant years before when, with a band previous to Old Crow, I played my first theme park. This one simply called Santaland, just a few hours down the road from Tweetsie in southwesternmost North Carolina. The premise at Santaland is, well, you can probably guess what the premise at Santaland is. But one thing you probably wouldn't guess is that Santaland, instead of reindeer, has Nubian goats, like 140 of them, all like, nah. Oh, and also, Santa himself is a totally lecherous drunk. See, this is the duality and the dilemma of the young American roots musician. I want to go where the music came from and earn a living at my trade. But these rural locations where the music came from decided sometimes after that first season of Beverly Hillbillies that they needed a new trade and decided that the trade would be something of a trade-off. For instead of sharing their true selves in song and story, these isolated communities of Appalachia chose instead to make their commodity in the belittled retelling of the mountaineer experience, a fabrication of folklore for amusement, novelty, and profit. For the idealistic-minded musician, of course, the alternative is to play the VFW hall or a bar if you can find one, or more likely a church, but none of them pay theme park money. And here comes the rub. In order to make a living on the mountain playing old-timey music, you have to dress up like some hillbilly rube and clown around for tourists from way off the mountain, like Charlotte and Atlanta and probably Florida. For Old Crow Medicine Show, the Tweetsie Railroad trade-off was a pretty simple decision, though, because when you're used to playing in dark, dingy dives for lousy pay and beer, a real proper theme park with its state-of-the-art sound system and lighting is a little bit like paradise. Especially if your idea of paradise includes a shooting gallery, all-you-can-drink soda, and foot-long hot dogs, and little triangles of deep-fried mac and cheese. Oh, and a gondola ride over Kris Kringle's deer habitat, where the deer all have some mysterious parasitic antler disorder that's made their antlers grotesquely deformed by a hideous red tumorous growth. But if your dream of paradise is a 5-piece string band performing twice every hour on the hour from 10 to 4 in a Western movie set style cabaret hall with a group of prissy taffeta-wearing can-can co-eds, then you're definitely dreaming in the snow cone colors of Tweetsie Railroad and Wild Western Theme Park. Old Crow's dream became even more surreal when, after the 4 p.m. show, the 10th of the day, we walked down to the Tweetsie Jamboree stage to open up for the animatronic robot band. The Tweetsie Mountain Gang, as they were known, included a gorilla who sang the low part on Elvira, giddy-up-a-moo-pop-a-moo-pop-a-mow-mow, and a scantily clad banjo-playing mouse wearing a wireless headset over her blonde beehive who sang a shrill and increasingly irritating "And I Will Always Love You." Only 2 weeks had passed before our supervisors Tammy and Steve, watching us croon from the stage in our western wear, began to wonder if we were really a fit. We weren't. After the glory of the free clothes and the laud and honor from the old-timers by the potbelly stove at the Beach Creek Grocerette, the theme park scene just wasn't very Old Crow. The biggest problem is that it was just so easy to play the same show day after day, and remember the corny lines we had to say in the cabaret, that what became even easier was to perform our duties as a big-time theme park band with a big-time theme park all-day drinking habit. We were getting a little too tweaky for Tweetsy, and it was just a matter of time before we got tossed. But the joke was on all those deformed deer up at the Kris Kringle habitat when we got the trophy call from a theme park with an even bigger rack. Back in 1974, Roy Acuff was a man on a mission. The Ryman Auditorium had fallen into disrepair. Downtown Music City was full of peep shows. So what does the king of country music do? He cooks up a newfangled idea. Let's build us a theme park. Does anyone remember the rock and roller coaster? Or the Flume Zoom? I bet Shelley does. How about the Country Bumpkin bumper cars? Or the Wabash Cannonball? Or how about the Grizzly River Rampage? Or the Screamin' Delta Demon? Well, you may not, but 2.5 million visitors every year for nearly 3 decades means that Opryland was beloved and became one of the most successful theme parks of all time and Nashville's premier amusement park destination. Sadly, by the time I started coming to play on the street corners of Nashville as a late teenager, demolition was already underway at the Opryland Park. But even with the log flume rides and the Hangman roller coaster long since sold, the Grand Ole Opry of the new millennium had still retained much of its theme park character. And so it was fitting that the bell ringer to toll the end of Old Crow's time at Tweetsy would be an Opry employee. It happened in between the 11 a.m. and the 12:15 show at the cabaret. The telephone in our dressing room, which had only ever rung so that Tammy could mouth off to us about dishonoring Tweetsy's conduct code, citing infractions such as spitting tobacco juice out the windows of the train cars during a holdup, and public displays of affection with numerous can-can girls. Suddenly, the phone began to ring, and with one hand on my suspenders, I answered it. "Hello," I said, scratching underneath my bowler hat. "Hi, this is Sally Williams. I'm calling from Nashville, and we're looking for a band to play out in front of the Grand Ole Opry this summer." Dumbfounded. Still am. I don't even remember hanging up the phone, and sometimes I wonder if it's still sitting there off the cradle in the little green room where we slept in between shows. And with that, we were gone. Gone like the wind over blowing rock. Gone like the last notes ringing out from the metal hinges of an animatronic robot mouse's mouth as she sings, "And I will always love you." It's true. And I will always love you, Tweetsy Railroad and Wild Western Theme Park. I'll never forget you or your picturesque grounds of amusement and novelty. And also, I won't soon forget the lessons I learned in the time we spent together. Especially this one. When it comes to tourist traps, it's always best to trade up. How quickly time flies when you're having fun on the Hartland Hootenanny. Well, that's just about all the time we have for you here. We want to thank tonight's very special guest, the ruby-throated Shelley Wright, everyone. Hey, folks, we hope to see you again next Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time when our very special guest will be the one and only Sierra Hull. Well, until next week, keep following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Throw a couple bucks in the pickle jar if you care to spare it. We'd sure like to keep this Hootenanny slathered up. Well, we'll see you next week, and until we meet again, God bless. Be safe, take care, wash your hands, avoid large crowds of roller coaster riders, bottomless soda pop belly busters, and anyone who looks like they're about to puke on the tilt-a-whirl. Oh, and one more thing. So long. It's been good to know ya. 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 This theme park summer that burns like the sun has got to be drifting along. Ready? Oh, the water pistol's filled, and the rubber ducks are swimming, and the strongman's sledgehammer has got that bell ringing in Illinois and Indiana. Arkansas and Arizona, those carnies will sell ya the cure for corona, singing so long. So long, everybody! So long. We had a great time to know ya. So long. It's been good to know ya. Our amusement park tribute is almost done, and we've gotta be drifting along. Woo! Well, thanks again for joining us tonight on the Hartland Hootenanny. We appreciate you, each and everyone, so much out there. Thank you for your years of love and support to the Old Crow Medicine Show, and know that without your steadfast friendship, we'd probably all be dead or in jail by now. So thanks for keeping us out of the clink and in the pink, folks. We love ya. We really do. We also love tonight's guest star on the Hartland Hootenanny, Shelly Wright. And who else do we love on the Hootenanny tonight? We love Opry Dan Rogers. We love carnies and show people and the ghosts that haunt abandoned amusement parks. We love the condor and the cliffhanger, the devil's wheel. We love the flying swings and the flying scooters and the flying squirrel. We love the frisbee and the gyro tower and the hayride and the hurricane and the kamikaze and the fun house. We love mechanical balls and virtual reality. And we love the orbiter, the swinging pirate ship, the whip and the roundup. That's all the time we have for you on the Hartland Hootenanny, but we'll see you next week. And until then, stay safe and happy. God bless and take care. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Keep your distance. Stay hopeful, happy, optimistic, hopeful, groovy, untethered, wild, free, liberated. Good night, everybody. Good night, and God bless you from Nashville, Tennessee, USA. Ow!